Is your new AdWords campaign absolutely killing it? Well, don't go out and buy a new Maserati just yet. Today we're talking about the ups and downs of a new Google AdWords campaign. Stay with me. I love Chipotle. Now, we'd had Chipotle in Las Vegas, we had it in Texas, we had it in a number of different states, but when they first opened up a Chipotle location here in Reno, we had to go. And so we went down, and of course, the very first week, the entire first week, there was a line out the door. Now, for those of you who don't know what Chipotle is a Mexican burrito fast food type restaurant that uses very healthy, organic style, natural style food. Don't use any preservatives. It's good for you. It tastes great. The salsa is fantastic. And we just love it. You can go in there. It's a little bit pricey, but just the same. We go down there, first week, line out the door. Now my question to you is, what would happen if the executives for Chipotle decided to draw conclusions about what the store's gross revenue would be during that first week? It'd be wrong, right? They'd be flat out wrong. So what would they have to do to really get a good fix on the type of numbers that store could do? They'd have to look at the store's numbers over a period of probably several months, if not an entire 2 quarters or probably a whole year even, before they got a really good feel for what that store's numbers were doing. Because if they only looked at the first week, the numbers would be skewed or just plain wrong. My company manages Google AdWords campaigns and sets up marketing funnels for primarily small businesses. And what we see in about 30% of those cases is that when we set up a new campaign and get it running, within a day or two, those campaigns might be simply flooded with either new leads or new orders, and the owners are ecstatic. But I always caution them, don't run out and buy a new Mercedes. Don't run out and buy a new Maserati, because there's sometimes an initial influx for whatever reason, and I have my theories as to why, but for whatever reason, we usually see within the first 10 to 14 days an initial boom of activity on their accounts before it starts to settle down. And frequently what will happen is after the first 2 weeks or so, it'll kind of flatline almost, and they'll go from getting an extreme amount of leads to getting just a handful of leads the following week or two, typically initial couple weeks. And then you'll see it pick back up. Now, again, I have my theories as to why this is happening, but I may or may not be right on that. The reality is, for about 30% of these accounts, it does happen. I think a big part of it is that there's a new player in the niche, and what happens is people who have been researching using a contractor or using a dog trainer or whatever it may be, suddenly see this new ad appear, suddenly see this new player in the niche, and they go to research it, and then they end up responding. However, the following 2 weeks, when leads tend to plateau, the traffic volume stays the same. So I'm not 100% clear on that. I don't have an absolute answer. And anybody who says that they do have an absolute answer is probably lying to you. The reality is, though, it typically bounces back. And then you start seeing very consistent leads and customers and sales over a long period of time. So it's almost like there may be a calibration period that Google puts the account through. We don't know exactly, but we know that it does exist. So until you have those long-term numbers, which for AdWords, I would say it can take 2 to 3 months, don't go out and buy a new Mercedes or a new Maserati. So what can you expect? Like, what's reasonable? What I say is, for the first month, if your numbers are right, if we're handling your campaigns, and you're one of our clients, you have an appointment-driven business, or you have a school, what you can typically expect is absolute worst case scenario, it should pay for itself the first month. Absolute worst case scenario. More than likely, you'll see a 3 to 7 times return on your investment. And in some cases, even more, a 10 to 15 times return on your investment. It just depends. But until we've established that baseline over the long run, over several months, 2 to 3 months at least. Don't go buy a new Maserati. Hey, I'm interested in your feedback. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, Katz on Marketing, and post a comment, or if you like this, press the thumbs up button. But I'm really interested in hearing your comments and feedback. Have you had this happen to you? Have you seen it happen with some of your client accounts? And what'd you make of it? What's your theory? I'm Adam Katz for Branding Direct. If you're looking for more clients, students, customers for your local business, contact us and we'll give you a free consultation.